Hello and welcome, I'm Oles Garjuk and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. The first Ukrainian low-cost airline, SkyUp, is being stripped of its license. This was decided by a district civil court in the Kyiv region. This means the start of another battle, government versus judiciary system, since the Prime Minister, together with Ukraine's Minister of Infrastructure, support the airline carrier. The story bears many more tricks and unexpected turns, and to discuss it, we welcome to the studio today Alexander Alba, co-owner of Ukraine's SkyUp Airlines. Hello and thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity being here with you today and for providing me a possibility to explain of what exactly happens, who is SkyUp Airlines, and of course the last circumstances which are surrounding our airline today.
Well, the story is very interesting, but let's start with the short introduction of your company to our international audience. So the SkyUp is the first Ukrainian low-cost airline company, as I mentioned before. It started operating just a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, yes, and it focuses not only on international destinations, but also works towards development of the domestic flights, which is quite unique for Ukraine and extremely important at the same time, because Ukrainians have been always dreaming of the affordable traveling. So let's start from the very beginning. On May 25th, if I'm not mistaken, Barashevsky District Court of Kyiv Oblast decided to suspend the license of the low-cost airline. Could you please tell us how did the story develop and what stands behind it?
Yes, of course. You rightly mentioned we are the first low-cost carrier. We are a successful startup Ukrainian story. We are a unique concept. We are a hybrid airline. Why hybrid? Because we are operating not only regular flights, international and domestic, but also we're operating as well charter flights. We're about to launch a new concept called Sky Premium. On board, it's something which will be very valuable for our upmarket clients, which not very much used to see on the aircrafts of the low-cost carriers. So we are trying to make our product unique. Basically, our personal opinion, this is the reason why we are facing these problems. I never heard before the court decision about such city called Barashevka.
Yes. Barashevka is a small town in the Kyiv Oblast, actually, because I've been researching this, and according to Wikipedia, it has 11,000 inhabitants only. So basically, my question is it really possible, with the simple complaint of the customer about the service of the company, to basically to suspend the license of the whole airline?
Well, I'm not a professional lawyer, but there was a lot of mistakes done, and this gives me an opportunity to call this decision illegal. Of course, definitely civil court, doesn't matter if it is Barashevka or district of Kyiv, civil court cannot take decision where the subject of the case is suspension of the license.
And as an entity, should be administrative court.
Exactly. And the plaintiff can be only authority who gave the license. In our case, it's CAA, Civil Aviation Authorities. So let's say a customer, passenger cannot be a plaintiff to administrative court with request to suspend the license. And also, in the decision of the Barashevsky court, the demand of the plaintiff was not only suspension of the license. It was again another demand to stop LTD as well, operation of our LTD, a legal entity. Barashevsky court did a lot of mistakes. First of all, when we started to know about this decision, we went to the court to study the materials of the case, and we found there just 3 papers. It was 2 passport copies of the plaintiff and as well complaint itself.
Was there any expertise
Nothing.
done by...
Just 3 papers. Just 3 papers. I never saw something like this in my life, but this is was a case with 3 papers.
This is looks like this is one of the most simple case to review for the Court of Appeal. But 3 pages, this is surreal.
On the other hand, from the other side is second biggest airline of Ukraine, and my personal opinion, that we gave the product to the Ukrainians which they have been waiting for a very long time. Why? Because it's normal in Europe to fly from city to city, from country to country with 20-50 euro, and this is dream for Ukrainians, and we made this dream come true. So the judge who took such decision definitely, in my personal opinion, was somehow asked to do this. As I said, there was a lot
she was asked to do this?
Definitely forced, asked, or thanked to do it.
Okay, so this is some kind of bargaining or corruption involved in this
It's
scheme?
definitely corruption.
Okay.
It's definitely corruption. I think this is police or our DBR authorities who should give an answer. Is it corruption? I mean, what type
State
of the
Bureau
corruption?
of Investigation.
Yes, State Bureau of Investigation.
Could you please tell us how did the Ministry of Infrastructure and the State Aviation Service that basically issued you with the license react to this case?
If you will allow me, I just would like 2 minutes to tell you about the decision of the court itself. What kind of mistakes have been done? First of all, we found that the plaintiff was never been a client or passenger of SkyUp Airlines. Secondly, we found there is no any proof, so how judge could make such a decision without making expertise that she was a client and she can demand at least something from us. Secondly, we are a transport company in Ukraine, and according to legislation of Ukraine, if you go to the civil court, so the plaintiff should go to the court according to the registration of the company to whom they're doing the complaint.
A registered address of the
my
company,
company is
meaning
not
Kyiv.
Exactly, my company is not registered in Barashevka, it's registered in Kyiv. And then itself, judge made the biggest mistake. It's not the authority of the civil court to decide on the suspension of the license or stopping completely the operation of the legal entity. So this mainly the 3 aspects which allows me to call this decision illegal. Of course, we clearly understood that the scheme was planned very well in advance, because next day after the decision was taken, all mass media launched the information. Let's say top 100 leading newspapers, websites, informational of Ukraine that from tomorrow, 12 o'clock at the night, SkyUp Airlines will not be able to fly because the license is suspended.
So did you get to know about this court sentence from the mass media?
Yes. Actually, it was a very big surprise for us, because
this is very strange.
You just reminded me one more mistake of the court, because
they didn't contact you and provide you with anything.
NCAA, who should be there, because they provided us a license. So we have received very quick reaction of the Minister of Infrastructure, who said that until he is a Minister of Infrastructure in Ukraine, SkyUp will continue to fly. Of course, we had a meeting about this case with him. He spoke with legal department of Ministry of Infrastructure and legal department of CAA. And as well, CAA gave also their support to SkyUp. As you know, that Prime Minister of Ukraine, Vladimir Groysman, as well, on Wednesday, same day when the information was put everywhere in Ukraine, as well said to Vladimir Amelian, Minister of Infrastructure, and Minister of Justice, Pavel Petrenko, that they have to make sure that SkyUp will fly without any problems, will operate without problems, and the rights of the passengers will not be... they will not have problems with the flights, let's say like this.
Well, basically, Groysman delivered the task to 2 ministries to help you handle the case. And also, he stated that he plans to send letters to all the judiciary and institutions and President Volodymyr Zelensky. Do you know anything about this?
I read from the internet, same as you. I think that he's supposed to send these 2 requests. Unfortunately, I'm not aware if these requests have been sent, but I know that Vladimir Amelian publicly appealed to Vladimir Zelensky and as well to other authorities about this case. I mean, We don't rely on help of minister or prime minister. We know our way. We go ourselves to all legal authorities. We did appeal case to appeal court of Kiev. So I guess that minister and prime minister are very much interested in helping us to resolve this issue, because they understand the circumstances which can happen in case if the license will be suspended in the future.
And what is the current development of this case?
I would say that current development looks not very positive, and everything what happens around this case looks very sad, according to my opinion. As I said before, we went to appeal court. I think I have to mention that in between we went to appeal court, and in between decision of Barishevsky court, the journalists, they found the plaintiff, Miss Oksana Pasenko. And she was very surprised to hear that she did a complaint to Barishevsky court, and she said that she never did this. And she agreed to go, not agreed, she proposed to go to police, where she wrote a
filed
statement.
A report about...
Exactly,
yes,
that she never made any...
Her personal data was misused.
Exactly. Very big surprise was for us on 19th of June, yes. When MP from the political party Ukrop, Mr. Dubinin, as well, he was a general director of the big factory Dnieperazot, received a request, let's call it request, from Miss Pasenko. It was same day when she went to police in Barishevka to write a report that she never did any complaint, and she has no any problems with SkyUp. Same day, according to the documents, she sent a request to Mr. Dubinin, MP from Ukrop, with request to help her to execute legal decision of Barishevsky court. And Mr. Dubinin, being an MP, of course, immediately, without any delay, sent the same request of MP to Minister of Infrastructure, Vladimir Milyan, with demand to stop operation of SkyUp Airlines due to legal decision of the Barishevsky court.
So basically, this Ms. Pasenko is either honest about her personal data being misused, or maybe she's playing double role in this case, but we clearly see that MP Dubinin is pushing this case forward. Unfortunately, we do not have much time to concentrate and to focus on all the details and peculiarities of this very strange case. But what do you see behind this, or who stands behind the case? Do you believe that this is some enormous pressure that your company faces because somebody is attempting to, well, basically stop it from operating?
As I said in the beginning, we see the results of our business. You rightly said it is the 14th month of our operation. We have very successful results. We are the most growing airline of the Eastern Europe. During first 11 months of operation, we have received 11 aircrafts, and financial results as well are very good. Definitely, we're 100% sure that this is an attempt to stop the business. Because we are the business with whom very difficult to compete, because we are a very high innovative business, and we give to Ukrainians actually what they were dreaming to have. I am reading news, same as you, and of course I don't have written proofs of who is standing behind it, but it seems for the journalists it's very clear. But I have hope that the new government, you know, they declared during the president campaign
the new approach.
New values, and I hope that they will implement it.
Well, this story is a very big paradox taking place in the meantime of the judiciary reform implementation, and this is the saddest news for me, if I can talk personally. I thank you for being a guest today in our studio. I thank you for providing us with those comments, and I'm wishing you best of luck in this case.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Alexander Alba, co-owner of Ukraine's SkyUp Airlines. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Oles Garjuk. Goodbye.